Hello.
Hello there.
We said it every time. I was waiting for one of you guys to say it. Welcome to our show. This is the Jedi Archives, where we review the latest and greatest in Star Wars comics. My name's John.
I'm Mike.
And I am Bryce.
Today we are reviewing Star Wars: The High Republic issue
Number
2. So this
two.
we can't just call it issue 2 because this is the third run. So I've been reading a lot of people call it
Phase
Volume
3,
3.
issue 2?
Yeah, but Phase 3 issue 2 or Volume 3 issue 2, something like that, just to differentiate. But yes, this is the third set of the High Republic, their main line. Issue
I
2.
think in the collection they call them by year. So this is the 2024 run.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, phase 3. And we're looking here at the I'll read the little crawl from the League of Comic Geeks before we look at the covers, and it says, "At the mercy of the Hutts, Keeve Trennis captured, the Nile allying themselves with the Hutts, an old foe returned. Lines are drawn as past missions come back to haunt the Jedi of Starlight Beacon, and all the while a deadly hunter stalks the battlefield. But who or what is the child of the storm?"
It's funny because they really don't. They kind of they don't really answer it. They show you a panel. That's so funny.
Right.
That's the question right there.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is the main cover, which I think it's a great cover. I love this one. It shows the child of the storm, and it's got the nameless, one of the nameless behind him or behind them, because they don't. I think Surrett or Tourette refers to them. They them.
No. That what is reference to Stret and Tarek when he says we and they.
But I think when he's when he gets I'll wait till we get to that part. But that's the main cover. Here's another cover, variant number 2.
That's a cool variant.
What I like about this variant is that usually that Eye of the Storm is in red, but here it's in blue. Which is interesting because the origin story of that emblem is that it's the blood on great grandmother Row when she gets blood on her hand and marks her dress.
Definitely a cool variant.
Yeah. I like the deep green in her skin. Here's a variant number 3. And it's got Skier and Keeve
There's a
Trennis.
lot going on in this one, man. That background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the background is, gosh, I can't remember his name, but when he touches her head, there's that glow that goes around her head. That's what this is.
That's
He's reading her mind.
Masakine.
Yeah. So he's reading her mind.
Slicer.
And then,
He's a mind slicer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Masakine.
And so the foreground is basically the image in which he is extracting from her
memories, right? It's her training as a Padawan under Skier.
Yeah.
And then here's the same cover again, but non-virgin.
That's the one I have.
Oh, that's a nice one.
The
color's really vibrant, right?
Yes, it is. And they're doing, spoiler alert, they're doing this for every single one of them.
Oh,
nice.
I have the variant from 1, variant from 2, and smaller variant from 3.
Nice.
Is that Keeve again, or who's?
This is Keeve, but adult Keeve. And then we see a nameless, but we also see Skier like fighting the nameless.
Wasn't that how Phase 1 ended? He kind of just, because he was losing his connection to the Force. Yeah, he could now fight them.
Yes, that's right. And he told her to go. Yeah. And then we're back to our main cover. So, any particular favorite for you guys?
That last one.
Go
back.
The last one.
That one is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I like how Keeve's in the background almost. It kind of reminds me of like if you saw like a cover to like a Thanos comic, right? Like Thanos is in the background, but yet everything's happening in front of him. This is kind of like what I see there. It's not my favorite. The one I have is my favorite. I absolutely love it.
This one?
Yes.
Yes, that's a nice one.
Yeah. Because I think Kiev was the first one.
Yeah. My favorite is, I have to agree with John. It's this one. This is my favorite.
Mark that at 8:48 p.m.
I know
Eastern
what's going
Standard
on. What's
Time.
going on?
Mike actually agrees with Jonathan.
I mean, I want that as a statue. That skier, I want more skier. I mean, it definitely is conflicted, and he's got to be probably one of my favorite of the High Republic.
Spoiler alert, Jonathan, you should have predicated your thing with spoiler alert.
That I like him.
That you want more with skier.
Well, I didn't say nothing. I just said I want more. I'm not saying nothing else. I want more.
So here we have the characters in this issue. We've got Keith Trennis, Tarek, Afinar, Aidan Yilok, Surret, Joramali, Kemlin, which is a cool sergeant, Lorna D, Lycos, Masakine, who's the brain slicer, mind slicer, Scarabda the Hutt, Skier, Velko, Arkov, Avar Chris, and Mayarga the Hutt in a little flashback or her memory.
I do remember going through this and missing that whole Avar and Mayarga run we had. I really thought that was a cool run with when they were fighting
on the Rancor, on Rancors, the Drengir.
Yeah.
Fighting the Drengir, yes.
We'll get to it here, but how she died was, well, her fate. Her fate was just kind of like, wah, wah.
Well, her fate was the basis of a lot that happens in this book.
Yeah,
for sure. So I've got just one page of notes for this issue. So it starts out with a flashback of Keith Trennis, on the Padawan trials.
I was with the Crawl.
Oh yeah, the Crawl. Sorry, Crawl.
As the Nihil continue to hold a swath of the galaxy in the grip of the Stormwall, Jedi Master Keith Trennis fights a battle against Scarabda of the Hutt Cartel, who has used the chaos to annex a sector of Republic space. While Commander Velcro, Yahin, comes under attack from the stolen Jedi cruiser high above the Hutt stronghold of Balam, the Republic forces on the surface face Brother Lycos, one of the Marchion Ro's new breed of Nihil hunters, the Children of the Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Defeated on the battlefield, Trennis finds herself face to face with an old foe, former Nihil Tempest runner Lorna D, now working for the Hutts. I am so glad they brought her back because I thought that maybe she was gone too. All the old Storm Tempest runners, I think they were called, they're all gone. And so the fact that she came back, and I really like, because she was obviously the best one out of them all. The audio book with her in it, which not audio book, it's like a
audio drama.
Tempest Runner.
Audio drama was really
Tempest
good.
Runner.
Yeah, so I'm glad they brought her back. She's my favorite out of them all. So
she was exiled, so she's not part of the Nihil anymore.
Yeah.
So because she was trying to take over, remember?
She's the one who killed Marchion's dad, right? Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It's been so long. But yeah.
No. Marchion killed his father.
He killed his dad?
Marchion killed his own father. Yeah.
Yep.
But she was plotting.
We find out Lorna kills somebody pretty important.
Right.
To the Hutts.
Yeah.
So, well, we know that already.
Jabba.
But
no. Okay. Well, it starts with a flashback of Keith Trennis, her Padawan trials, right? Stinky! We need that little flying Stinky.
She kills Stinky.
So it starts with a flashback of Keith Trennis during her Padawan trials and when she was selected by Master Skier as his apprentice. And we think it's a flashback, but actually what's happening is that in the present time, Trennis is being held captive by Scarabda the Hutt and Lorna D. And we realize that Masakine is he's a mind slicer, and he's the one that's trying to access Keeve's memories to find out what happened or what the Jedi are planning. So then Keeve's about to tell them when she's tortured by Lorna D, who doesn't want all of this to be revealed.
Correct.
Yeah, but Scarabda is interested in learning more about his sister, Mayarga's death, thinking that Keeve was the cause because Keeve was with
He was there.
was there with Mayarga when she died. Um, and then it swipes over, in good Star Wars fashion, to another story happening simultaneously, which is Surret in their vector trying to connect with their bond twin Tarek, but they're unable to. So Commander Velko believes them to be deceased when they were shot down. However, Tarek is on the planet's surface fighting alongside Sergeant Kenlin. And Tarek has no memory of the Nameless.
Right.
And they reveal that that's a side effect of exposure to the Nameless. So Tarek is also healed from their exposure to the Nameless. So that's a good sign.
He was messed up. I thought wasn't like he was pretty charred up.
Really
Crunchy
bad,
nut,
yeah.
whatever you call it.
Yeah.
They both were, because I think at one point they were laying on the tables next to each other and they were both going through the same thing, even though only one of them actually had contact.
Right, because they're Bond twins. So even though it's I'm thinking like twins like Danny DeVito and right? Because the one felt what the other one, or which one was it where they felt what the other one did? The Corsican twins.
I'm going to the
This-
Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I don't know. I didn't mean that. I meant the Corsican twins. The one would feel what the other one felt, and he started like hitting himself. Right? He's like, "Ow! Stop it!" So, so Tarek successfully kills a Nameless. Right? Tarek does it. Killed a Nameless, and then Sergeant Kemp was like, "Wow, how'd you do that?" And Tarek's like, "All things die but the Force." And at that instant, Sergeant Kemlin gets stabbed through the back by the Child of the Storm with his Dringer-like tentacles, right? It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Rips right through him. Then it swipes back to Trennis, and she agrees to allow Masakine to see what happened the day that Mayarga was killed. And Lorna claims that it's a trick. She doesn't want this to happen, so she tries to dissuade Scarabda from proceeding. However, Scarabda allows it, and Masakine reveals that it was Lorna who killed the Hutt sister. And Lorna attacks Masakine at that moment, and Scarabda shoots Lorna because Masakine is no liar, right?
Right.
Lorna attempts to destroy the building with Scarabda and Trennis inside of it, but then Keeve Trennis
We
what?
gotta back up just a little bit.
Okay.
Because also in the Hutt's ear was Afinar, who sounded like a loyal advisor to.
Oh, right.
But we find out
is a
nope.
Nile spy.
I think they even say for the eye.
In league with the eye. Yes.
Mm-hmm,
and then that's when Afinar gets crushed.
One of the greatest panels I've ever seen.
Like, yeah, you actually see a Hutt take flight. Squishes Afinar and basically
the hell
says,
you will
to the hell with the eye.
To the hell with the eye, right? There's a lot of hell in this issue. A lot of hell popping up left and right.
Yeah, like we don't want to miss that specific part because that was that the treachery. It's not only that Lorna still has her agenda, right? But then Afinar was like that backup plan that was always put in place.
It's like
that if he didn't cooperate, he was going to end up perishing at that point.
To me, it's very much how, if you remember the Lord of the Rings, how Theoden had an advisor who was really really on his side. So that's what I got out of that. It's just like I thought it was really weird. I was like, why is this guy like siding with Lorna Doone? It's like, and then he goes for the eye. I was like, oh, it was a setup the whole time.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. Saruman's
puppet,
little helper there. I can't.
It does not say though, which I thought was a little frustrating. How was it Sarek or Tarek killed a Nameless? You just see it dead. Was it in another issue? Did I miss it?
But they have the lightsaber out, so I'm assuming it was with the lightsaber.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty big deal though. They can't even get near the Nameless, and then this one they just kind of killed it.
Well, they all crash landed though, right? Like all of them. The Nameless, the Child of the Storm, Trek.
I want to.
sergeant, and then there was another I think female officer that also.
So you think maybe it died or was injured in the accident? He just kind of. I guess he doesn't even.
I think maybe it was weakened enough that a Jedi was able to get close enough to kill it.
Well, I guess it doesn't even mention. It doesn't. He doesn't actually take credit for it. It's dead, and it goes. All things die. So,
but the Force. I wanted to show the panels because it is pretty cool. So there's they're speaking Huttese, and then he says, "I'll take your tongue, filthy Jay, for the storm, for the eye," and then
just
grabbed us like to hell with the eye.
Well, just think about this. That guy's got a head start and in full sprint, and this Hutt catches him and turns him into a pancake. I'm like, I want to watch that. Like,
look, you get look
in the background. In the background, you
he's like a lumpy.
But you can see in the background that the Hutt's in movement because the tail's up just like it is is in the bottom panel.
Yeah. So it must have did some kind of spring and just lily pad right on top of it.
I think it's like, have you ever seen seals on the land? How they just like, bloom, 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 just kind of like that's what I imagine. Here's Scrabda going, and he's just like, what? Splat! To hell with the eye, thump.
I love it.
Look at that. Great. He's like, ah!
And the whole thump thing is great too.
And he's like, and all who follow him. And he's like, oh. Yeah, I just wanted to share that. That is pretty cool.
I don't know if you saw it, but he cleanly shoots Lorna D in the back. Like square, and she's barely phased. I thought that was a little odd.
She's wearing Beskar.
Yeah.
I'm like, she should be dead. But
that's what I thought too. He shot her in the back.
Clearly, clean. Like you even see that it takes out a hole. Like and it's your back showing. I'm like, man.
He shot her in the back, but somehow she didn't die.
Somehow.
So going back to here,
her fate cannot be that easy.
Yeah.
No.
It needs to be.
It should have maybe glanced off, but it was square in the back. I was like,
it was. Where are we? Where were we? So then so she destroys the building, right? And then but then Keeve Trennis uses the Force to rescue both herself and Scarabda, right? And that's how they become to ally themselves together. So Keeve rescues them, and they team up together against Lorna and the Nile, because Scarabda is no friend of the Nile. Because Keeve tells her the Nile are going to come take your Hutt space next, right?
Right, which was the plan.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, back on the planet. Oh yeah, sorry.
Well, no. I think you might be alluding to it. Well, go ahead, Mike.
Scarabda also was thought to have an alliance kind of with the Nihil. That's what this was all about. We get half, you get half. But now she finds out she had a traitor, and she's probably assuming Lorna D still working with the Nihil too. She thinks Nihil's really infiltrating. She doesn't really know Lorna D's really just her own rogue. She's on no side. She's on her side.
Yeah, Lorna's on her own side.
We're led to believe that.
Right.
Hi,
ooh, spoiler. Hi, Luke.
He's right in my business right now. He's like, I want. What are we doing? What are we doing?
So, meanwhile, back on the planet, Tarek battles a child of the storm, and just as Tarek is captured by the child, Sergeant Kemlin, who had been stabbed by him but was not dead yet, shoots him, and then we learn that they are the Nile Berserker, and Tarek is attempting to comfort them, and reveals that a Trandoshan Jedi did this to him. So Keeve
in the occlusion zone.
Yes, in the occlusion zone. Keeve hears this and says, "To be continued."
Well, even there's a weird line. Yeah, there's a weird line. It says he thinks he's a god. So I'm like, wow, it's really interesting that Skeever's kind of. I'm guessing he's passed on. What's the plant monsters again? I forgot what they're called.
The Drangir.
The Drangir. Maybe he's like infected with Drangir. So he's passing it on to the child of the storm.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's
Because
why that
it's
guy
that
has
Drengir
that.
infection. He's got
Yeah.
like that Drengir's arm, the tentacle.
Yeah.
I want to share this too. Sorry.
But kind of going back, like that, this whole conversation started with Scarabda announcing to his people that Lorna is on the ship. We need to find Lorna. And so that's where all the conversations were. Like that's what um, kind of sparked the whole thing, and that's why Kiev was able to hear what she heard was because they were all communicating over the same
Right. Right.
frequency, I guess.
Right. The comlink or something. And then this is where because Tarek was busy communicating, he was distracted, and that's how the child of the storm was able to grab them. And then here we see that you're right, that Drengir tentacle, and then Sergeant Kemlin shoots and gets him right through the back or right through the chest.
Yeah, I mean, he stabbed him, so he shot him. So tit for tat.
Yeah, tit for tat, right? And then here we see the Nile Berserker has been shot. I am attempting to alleviate their discomfort. So Tarek is referring to the Berserker as a they them.
I did catch that. I was like, huh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
no,
what I thought.
that's is that what you were talking about earlier,
Yes,
Mike? Okay,
because I
got
thought
it.
it was a
Okay, that's where I
he,
was
but then
confused.
I thought it was a he too, but then the Tarek refers to them as their discomfort. And that's when the Berserker says, Jedi Knight, such a light in the darkness. So, and then Sergeant Kemlin says, oh, consider yourself lucky, freak. You'd bleed out if it was up to me.
Right.
Which I agree with the sergeant. But then we get the
Sergeant's knowledge.
reveal. He says, you wouldn't say that if you'd seen what I've seen. And that gave me feels of like Blade Runner, right? When what's the guy's name? Batty. Not Harrison Ford, the one that's hunting him, or the one he's hunting, the leader of the skin jobs, Batty, the guy with the white hair. When he says the things, if you've seen the things that I've seen, because they were using them, to do all these horrible things outside in space.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it does make sense. It's a good parallel.
Mm-hmm. So he says the Jedi cutting down all in their path, the innocent and the guilty. And Tarek's like, that's not the Jedi way. He's like, who do you think did this to me? And he says, a Jedi whose mask slipped, who thinks he is a god. But I saw him for who he was, Trandoshan scum, a devil, a monster. And Keeve is listening to this and saying, wait, what did he just say? Trandoshan? Dun, 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 dun.
And then it goes into the flashback.
So, scroll up real quick.
I love this. I love this issue.
It is good. I don't think that's his lightsaber. His lightsaber has that, like, I don't know, brass knuckle thing almost on it. Scroll up. Scroll up. Or down.
Skiers?
You get it. Yeah. See right there. It's not his lightsaber. So I wonder who's he has. Remember his has that almost like
when he went after the nameless, I don't
you're right.
remember what he had then.
Yeah, maybe he grabbed someone else's. But yeah, so he's gonna, I don't know if he's always been, I don't even want to say he's out of his mind. He's always been kind of a capital punishment type guy. And so maybe he's still just, that's what he's doing. He's out there not possessed, but it's like, I can't be around them
justice.
Because, yeah, his way.
Distributing justice. Yeah. Go skier.
Yeah, I'm not on board where he's like gone mad or anything like that yet. Or so I'm just right now. Maybe he's just trying to stay in the shadows. Doesn't want to wants to do things his way. He's kind of lost his connection to the Force. Maybe that's why he's not hanging around the Jedi. But yeah, definitely. I need more skier, and I need more audiobooks of skier too.
I need more skier too, and I want audiobooks too.
I love that.
So anything that I
you're getting more skier.
Definitely looks like we're gonna get more skier. And eventually, we got to see the fall of Kiev. Eventually, I mean that's been foretold. So
Since the prequel trilogy
yeah,
with the bust of Keith Trennis in The Lost 20.
So we'll see if they really stick with that, or as one of the other things Disney forgets
somehow.
Somehow they forgot.
So, any final thoughts?
I really liked it. It was quick. Got a couple stories merged real quick. Yeah, it's great. It really brought shades of the Phase 1 High Republic, where they worked with the Hutts, and you got to see Myarga and Avar, which I just loved. Avar and Myarga, that duo, that double panel where they're all
on
attacking.
the Rancors.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like that's so cool.
Yeah,
So
that was so
it
cool.
made me think of that, which made me happy. So I am gonna give it a 4. So I really enjoyed it.
Wow, 4
that's high.
holocrons.
That's high.
Bryce?
4.5.
Wow. You guys don't
I said there
wanna-
was a lot that there was a lot that happened in this. The whole fact that Skier is still alive. We see a flying hut.
Squishes
Lorna
someone.
D is wreaking havoc. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely up there. Oh, 3.5
I
from
gave it
Michael.
3.5. I can't believe it. I'm lower than Jonathan.
I mean, I can because it's right in front of my face.
Yeah, I gave it 3.5 because I liked it, but I didn't love it. So,
All right, Mike. I'm proud that you're expanding your range, Mike. You've always just been 4, 4.5, 4, 4.5.
He's gone to 3.5, 2 in the last 3 reviews on individual books.
Yeah, his 2 reviews ago, if you remember that long ago,
was 4.
Dark Droids 5. You went to 3.5 and agreed with Jonathan.
No, it was 3.
No, I think
whatever.
I gave it 3.
3 on Dark Droids.
Yeah, Dark Droids I did 3.
Yeah,
this was 3.5. But the last week, 2 weeks ago, was 4.
So, it was a month ago, so.
Yeah. It was a month ago. That's why you don't remember.
Anyways,
I didn't have my Hu Yang shirt then.
Yeah.
So, wow.
Yes. So we're gonna do more of these. We got more of them down the pipeline. You guys obviously know that, but please like, subscribe, please comment. We love seeing your comments and replying back to them. And yeah, just please like and subscribe.
Yep.
Restart this. Be sure you follow us on YouTube at Virtual Cantina Network. Give it a minute to catch up. And on Instagram at virtual.cantina network. And on X at where it's Cantina Virtual. On Threads at virtual.cantina network. I don't have Threads. You guys have Threads?
I have Threads.
Yeah. Mike manages Threads for us.
Hive at Virtual Cantina Network. You guys have Hive?
Nope. I don't know what Hive is.
I manage Hive for us.
And TikTok at Virtual
with,
Cantina. I don't have TikTok either.
I have TikTok too. I think
Joanna got TikTok. Scooby's got Instagram.
I need to go on them. But yes, please also go to the Mothership page where the Star Wars Celebration Japan 2025. It's on the Facebook page. That's where everything happens. We'll hang out. Always get in touch with us there. Also, special thanks to Star Wars
Book Nerds and Star Wars Comic Book Club.
Yes.
And if you're not part of either one of them,
join now.
You should be.
And please comment. I love comments. I will respond. I promise.
He promises. He promised. He made it right here. So he doesn't. We'll make some kind of thing where we can punish him or shame him online if he doesn't reply.
I don't know if that's possible.
Oh, it's possible.
We'll find a way. All right. Thank you for watching. May the Force be with you.
Live long and
Force be with you.